Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's 3 of 3 for British author J.K. Rowling, who scores another home run with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. USA Today. Isn't it reassuring that some things just get better and better? Harry is back and in fine from the third installment of his adventure at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The place is non-stop, with thrilling games of Quidditch, terrifying omens of death, some skillful time travel, and lots of slimy Slytherin sneaking about, causing trouble. This is a fabulously entertaining read that will have Harry Potter fans cheering for more. SLJ. The story of Harry Potter, a bemused adolescent wizard in training, is as addicting as chocolate, and the new book is as revering as its predecessor. The Denver Post. Rowling proves that she has plenty of tricks left up her sleeve in this third Harry Potter adventure, set once again at the Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry. In many ways, this installment seems to serve a traditional role in the 7-volume series. While many of the adventures are blatantly related, they appear to be laying groundwork for even more exciting adventures to come. The beauty here lies in the genius of Rowling's plotting. The Potter spell is holding strong. Publishers Weekly. What results once again is a good story, well told, one that is not a cut above the fantasies of the age group, but it is attractive to readers from beyond both ends of the spectrum. We wait impatiently for the next episode. Booklist third review. Brilliant. The Harry Potter stories belong to an ongoing tradition of Anglo-American fantasy that takes off from Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and had been continued splendidly by writers like Lord Alexander, Susan Cooper, Alan Garner, and Diana Wynne-Jones. What sets Rowling's book apart from the predecessors is partly a light-hearted fertility of inventions that recalls L. Frank Baum's books. Even more important is the fact that recalls L. Frank Baum's books. Even more important in the fact that here is fully imagined world to which he had a deep, ongoing commitment. Elsa Lurie, The New York Review of Books. Also by J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Year 1 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Year 2 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Year 4 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Year 5 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Year 6 at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Year 7. Starting Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling, illustration by Mary Grander. To Jill Prewatt and Anne Carley, the godmothers of swing. Contents: 1. Outpost. 2. Aunt Margie's Big Mistake. 3. The Night Bus. 4. The Leaky Cauldron. 5. The Dementors. Talent. 6. Talent and Tulips. 7. The Bulwark in the Wardrobe. 8. Flight of the Fat Lady. 9. Grim Defeat. 10. The Mirander's Map. 11. The Firebolts. 12. The Patronus. 13. Gryffindor versus Ravenclaw. 14. Snape's Grudge. 15. The Quidditch Final. 16. Professor Trelawney's Prediction. 17. Cat, Rat, and Dogs. 15. Moony, Wormtail, Patfoot, and Prongs. 19. The Servant of Lord Voldemort. 20. The Dementor's Kiss. 21. Hermione's Secret. 22. Outpost Again. It has 416 pages. Starting Chapter 1. The Outpost. Harry Potter was a highly unusual boy in many ways. For one thing, he hated the summer holidays more than any other time of the year. For another, he really wanted to do his homework, but was forced to do it in secret in the dead of night, and he also happened to be a wizard. It was nearly midnight, and he was lying on his stomach in the bed, the blankets drawn right over his head like a tent, a flashlight in one hand and a large leather-bound book, A History of Magic by Bathilda Bagshot, propped open against the pillow. Harry moved the tip of his eagle feather quill down the page, frowning as he looked for something that would help him write his essay, which burning in the 14th century was completely pointless discuss. The quill passed at the top of a likely-looking paragraph. Harry pushed his rounded glasses up the bridge of his nose, moved his flashlight closer to the book, and read, "No magical people, more commonly known as muggles, were particularly afraid of magic in medieval times, but not very good at recognizing it. On the rare occasion that they did catch a real witch or wizard, burning had no effect whatsoever. The witch or wizard would perform a basic flame freezing charm and then pretend to shrink with pain while enjoying a gentle tickling sensation. Indeed, Gwendolyn the Weird enjoyed being burned so much that she allowed herself to be cut less than 47 times in various disgrace." Harry put his quill between his teeth and reached underneath his pillows for his ink bottle and a roll of parchment. Slowly and very carefully, he unscrewed the ink bottle, dipped his quill into it, and began to write, pausing every now and then to listen, because if any of the Dursleys had heard the scratching of the quill on their way to the bedroom, he'd probably find himself locked in the cupboard under the stairs for the rest of the summer holidays. Uncle Vernon and Petunia and their son Dudley were Harry's only living relatives. They were Muggle, and they had a merry medieval attitude toward magic. Harry's dead parents, who had been a witch and wizard themselves, were never mentioned under the Dudleys' roof. For years, Petunia and Uncle Vernon had hoped that if it kept Harry as down torrents as possible, they would be able to squash the magic out of them. For their fury, they have been unsuccessful. These days, they lived in terror, anyone finding out that Harry had spent more of the last 2 years at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The most they could do, however, was to lock away Harry's spellbooks and wand and cauldron and broomstick at the start of the summer break, and forbid him to talk to all their neighbors. The separation from his spellbook had a real big problem of Harry because his teachers at Hogwarts had given him a lot of holiday work. One of the essay, a particularly nasty one about shrinking potions, was for Harry's least favorite teacher, Professor Snape, who would be delighted to have an excuse to give Harry detention for a month. Harry had therefore seized his chance in the first week of the holidays, while Uncle Vernon and Petunia and Dudley had gone out into the front garden to admire Uncle Vernon's new company car in very loud voices, so that the rest of the street would notice it too. Harry had crept downstairs, picked up the lock-up board under the stairs, and grabbed some of his books and hidden it in his bedroom. As long he didn't leave spots of ink on the sheet, the Dursleys never knew that he was studying magic by night. Harry was particularly keen to avoid trouble with his aunt and uncle at the moment, as they were already in an especially bad mood with him, all because he'd received a telephone call from a fellow wizard 1 week into the school vacation. Ron Weasley, who was one of Harry's best friends at Hogwarts, came from a whole family of wizards. This meant that he knew a lot of things Harry didn't, but never used a telephone before. A lot of things Harry did. Most unluckily, Harry didn't, but had been Uncle Vernon who had answered the call. Vernon Dudley speaking. Harry, who happened to be in the room that time, froze as he heard Ron's voice answering. Hello, hello, can you hear me? I want to talk to Harry Potter. Ron was yelling so loudly as Vernon Dudley. Uncle Vernon jumped and held the receiver a foot away from his ear, staring at it with an expression of mingled fury and alarm. Who is this? He rolled the direction of the mouthpiece. Who are you? Ron Weasley, Ron bellowed back, as though he and Uncle Vernon was speaking from the opposite end of a football field. I'm a friend of Harry's from school. Uncle Vernon's small eyes swerved around to Harry, who was rooted on the spot. There is no Harry Potter here, he roared, now holding the receiver at arm's length, and though frightened, might explode. I don't know what school you're talking about. Never contact me again. Don't you come near my family. And he threw the receiver back on the telephone, and it dropping out as if dropping a poisonous spider. The fight that had followed had been the worst ever. How dare you give the number to people like you? Uncle Vernon had roared, spraying Harry with spit. Ron obviously realized that he gotten Harry in trouble because he didn't call again. Harry's other best friend from Hogwarts, Hermione Granger, had been in touch either. Harry suspected that Ron had warned Hermione not to call, which was a pity because Hermione, the cleverest witch in Harry's ear, had Muggle parents, knew perfectly well how to use a telephone, and would probably had enough sense not to say that she went to Hogwarts. So Harry had no words from any of his wizarding friends for 5 long weeks, and this summer was turning out to be almost as bad as the last one. There was just only small improvement. After swearing that he wouldn't use her to send letters of any of his friends, Harry had been allowed to let the owl Hedwig out at night. Uncle Vernon had given it because the racket Hedwig made if she was locked in her cage all the time. I am very excited to read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban with you. Please enjoy my video and please subscribe and like. Bye bye.